Hi guys, I'm going to start again. I was trying to make a video there, but only unfortunately it wasn't a good idea. It's just coming off very easy. So I'm just talking about being out for a walk and firing off my neurons on a different route, you know, to waken up the brain and get it all supple and new neurons, neurokinetic pathways, because your brain's always on automatic. So it's nice to take a walk and go a different route to fire it off and make your brain wake up and pay attention, because you get so used to being an automatic. Or sometimes people could be driving home from work and it's just in the blink of an eye, you know, they're home because they are very much on automatic. But then if there's a road diversion or something, it's a case of they have to pay attention, like, oh my god, where am I going, what's going on here, you know. So for just life in general, just take a different route every once in a while, fire off the brain, the neurons and neurokinetic pathways, stimulate your brain cells, just do something, just every once in a while. It's good for you, especially on a day like today. Like, I'm out over by the river, like that's absolutely gorgeous just to be by the water. It's good for your well-being anyway. I wasn't sure what route to take though. I'm still indecisive, so I might still go for a big walk up round, because you know where I can go. There's lots of public places and that. It's just the city centre's bugged. The Irish Music Festival's on to the 10th, alternate routes are on with the buses, so you probably get picked up and dropped off at the Dublin Road. So anybody that's camping over at the Ormo Park there, just make sure you check if the buses are going down that route for you. It's not too far to walk though from the Ormo, don't get me wrong. Do check out the Belfast City Council website for the pricing, if there's any packages going for the Ormo Park for the camping, if you don't want a hotel, because I'm sure the hotels are booked. They're saying airplane. It makes me think of the wee song, leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. It gets stuck in my head when I see an airplane. It's funny. But no, it's from the now today, the opening ceremony has just happened in the city centre at City Hall, and then it'll be 80 to 100,000 people to the 10th that'll descend on the city, primarily the city centre areas. But there are a few places around our end of town, off the Ormo Road here and down in round Queens and stuff, that will actually have connections to the music festival, like Holohan's restaurant. They're saying it's a Fila pit stop there, so I've seen the sign. It's quite lovely. It's quite a nice traditional Irish restaurant to go for, you know, some home staples. I'm sure I'll get nice fry in the morning, so it'll be good, I'm sure. But just out walking, clearing my head, appreciating a beautiful, gorgeous day, and knowing I have to go a different route to fire off neurons and stuff. So one thing I was about to say, I've got a wee cup of tea with me, but it's not just any tea, it's actually, excuse me, I've got a wee breeze, green tea. So green tea is full of antioxidants, polyphenols, and if you have someone in your family that's dealing with, unfortunately, dementia or Alzheimer's, the green tea is very good for them. It helps to reduce the plaque build-up on the brain. And I would suggest that you do try them with them when they're present to see if they like it or not, because you can get green tea powders you can put into bacon, green tea tablets. Just have a wee chat with your doctor then too. Always consult with your doctor, because you do nothing like green tea or anything natural will affect any medication they're on. But it's just to give them the best quality of life and to maybe help stave off dementia itself, is what green tea actually does. So if you're concerned about later in life, you know, if it's a genetic thing in your family or just something somebody said you could be at risk of if you have the genetic marker for it, just start adding green tea and matches and things into your diet now, and just be more mindful. Don't worry about it, don't get too like panicking, conscious of it, like, oh no, I'm going to lose being present and connected to the world when I'm older. That might not be the case, because where attention goes, energy flows. So if you take care of yourself now while you have the chance, just be mindful of what is better for you to be using. Again, it is a plaque build up on the brain, but for Alzheimer's, unfortunately, it's one of the proteins as well. So whenever the cell's worn down and the protein reacts to toxic metals heating up in the brain, of course that sends the cell into negative overdrive, and that's what needs to be reduced. And they do say that magnesium is one of the best supplements for anybody with Alzheimer's and dementia to be taken, and that they're looking at how certain supplements can actually help cure it, as well, of course, as music. Classical music is one of the best things. Anybody with Alzheimer's or dementia should be listening to like soothing classical music, and then of course nature sounds like birds, all of that. So if it's not a nice day and you can't get them out in the car for a sail or get them out into the garden, do have a beautiful playlist of classical music, have a beautiful playlist of nature sounds. Also nostalgia therapy music from whenever they were kids and teenagers would work, because it'll trigger memories in the brain that are subconsciously imprinted in them. It'll help them possibly be present for a good few minutes to a few hours that day, and just give them maybe a better quality of life. So just know that it's not easy for anybody living with dementia, and even considering losing their connection to the world and know and remember who people are as well as Alzheimer's. It's not a nice thing to know that they have, but it's also equally difficult for the families. And we also, just a charity shout out as well, Tremor Wise is on the Lisburn Road there for people with Parkinson's, and it's also connected of course to the brain, and a lot of things do get connected to autoimmune diseases and neurological disorders with the nervous system. They do say a lot of it comes from a physical and spiritual sense, as well as imbalances in the body. I think it's all of it, and they're not just looking at it properly. They just look at one specific area, but it's a mind, body, spirit and energy disalignment, and I think that all of that needs to be looked at for anybody with any issues that could cause any deterioration. Again, it is toxic metals in the brain for a lot of it. You know, we live in a toxic world. Unfortunately, when they heat up, you know, it can even cause just somebody to have a fit in the brain. So it's about finding a way to get adequate sleep so that your body can actually detox from those like toxic metals, heavy metals that you're consuming throughout the day, whether it be in your food, the air. That's why it's best, you know, I'm looking up at the sky here, look, it's blue today. We have a few lovely white fluffy clouds, but I can't really go too more into it. There's a slight breeze coming from the west. I'm no weather girl. I don't think you would want me on the TV telling you your weather, because it could be wrong or just not sounding right. Meteorologists think that's what you have to study to be a weather girl. So massive respect to everybody that does it, but it's not really for me. If you go by the weather in Northern Ireland, or Ireland in general, you do dress for all the weathers, because it rains twice in the morning, a man told me, twice at lunchtime and twice again in the evening. And you know what, he's not wrong. Just have an umbrella, just have your welly boots, or a wee pair of funky Chelsea welly boots, even with flowers on them, just for some style in your day, and off you go. You could have a bikini on and a pair of shorts, but still, just be mindful, it rains. But no, the weather's been absolutely gorgeous. We've been very lucky with the weather we've got, and it's nice to have a wee breeze today just to cool it down after yesterday. So again, do be mindful and take care in the sun and stay hydrated. That's all you can do. And of course, for people with problems with their brain, whether it be from a head injury, from a car accident, or dementia, Alzheimer's, again, do stay hydrated as well. You know, it's like, it has been said before, your body is like a desert. The older you get, you're drying up. Stay hydrated, keep it nourished, keep it going. There was a thing online promoting a gallon of water challenge for 2 weeks, and why, and how that flushes you out also hydrates you too. But don't forget, your brain is 70% water, so you do need to replenish that and realign the energy in that as well. So definitely do that. Have a great day, and just take care of yourself and each other.